Hello, grade 9 learners. My name is Teacher Badeth. Together, let us learn new things in the world of mathematics. For this episode, we are going to talk about simplifying expressions with rational exponents. Objectives: rewrite radical expressions by using rational exponents, and simplify and evaluate radical expressions and expressions containing rational exponents. Properties of nth roots for a greater than 0 and b greater than 0. Product property of roots. The nth root of a product is equal to the product of the nth roots. Example: cube root of 16 is equal to cube root of 8 times cube root of 2. Simplifying, cube root of 8 is equal to 2 times cube root of 2 is equal to cube root of 2. Therefore, we have 2 cube root of 2. Another illustration, we have nth root of a, b is equal to nth root of a times nth root of b. That is the product property of roots. Quotient property of roots. The nth root of a quotient is equal to the quotient of the nth roots. Example: square root of 25 over 16 is equal to square root of 25 over square root of 16. Simplifying, the answer is 5 over 4. Another illustration, nth root of a over b is equal to nth root of a over nth root of b. For the first example, simplify each expression. Assume that all variables are positive. Fourth root of 81x to the 12th power. First step, factor into perfect fourths. So fourth root, 3 to the 4th power times x to the 4th power times x to the 4th power times x to the 4th power. Product property, fourth root of 3 to the 4th power times fourth root of x to the 4th power times fourth root of x to the 4th power times fourth root of x to the 4th power. Next step, simplify. 3 times x times x times x is equal to 3x cubed. Next example, fourth root of 16x to the 8th power over 5. Quotient property, fourth root of 16x to the 8th power over fourth root of 5. Simplify the numerator, 2x squared over fourth root of 5. Next is to rationalize the numerator. 2x squared over fourth root of 5 times fourth root of 5 over fourth root of 5 times fourth root of 5 over fourth root of 5 times fourth root of 5 over fourth root of 5. Product property, 2x squared times fourth root of 5 cubed over fourth root of 5 fourths. Simplify, 2x squared fourth root of 125 over 5. Let us now move on to our third example. Fourth root of 16x to the 4th power. Factor into perfect fourths. So that is equal to fourth root of 2 raised to 4 times fourth root of x raised to 4. Product property, fourth root of 2 raised to 4 times x raised to 4. Next is to simplify your answer. So 2 times x, that is equal to 2x. Moving on, to rational exponents. So a rational exponent is an exponent that can be expressed as m over n, where m and n are integers and n should not be equal to 0. Radical expressions can be written by using rational exponents. For any natural number n and integer m, the exponent 1 over n indicates the nth root. Example, 16 raised to 1/4 is equal to 4th root of 16. That is equal to 2. Another illustration, a raised to 1 over n is equal to nth root of a. Next property, the exponent m over n indicates the nth root raised to the mth power. Example, 8 raised to 2/3 is equal to the quantity of cube root of 8 raised to 2. That is equal to 2 raised to 2. Cube root of 8 is equal to 2. Copying the exponent, that is equal to 2 raised to 2 and equal to 4. Another illustration, a raised to m over n is equal to the quantity of nth root of a raised to m. That is equal to nth root of a raised to m. Remember, the denominator of a rational exponent becomes the index of the radical. Example, write the expression in radical form and simplify. The quantity of negative 32 raised to 3/5. Method 1. Evaluate the root first. Write with a radical. So that will become 5 is the denominator, therefore that is the index of the radicals. So 5th root of negative 32 raised to 3. Evaluate the roots. So quantity of negative 2 raised to 3. The 5th root of negative 32 is equal to negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is negative 32. Third, evaluate the power. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is equal to negative 8. Next example, in the second method, which is to evaluate the power first. So write with a radical. 5th root of the quantity of negative 32 raised to 3. Next, evaluate the power. So we have 5th root of negative 32,768. That is negative 32 times negative 32 times negative 32. Evaluate the root. That is, going back, we have negative 8. The 5th root of negative 32,768 is equal to negative 8. Another example. Our second example, we have 64 raised to 1/3. So the numerator is 1 and the denominator is 3. Method 1, evaluate the root first. Write with a radical. So, cube root of 64 raised to 1. Evaluate the root. Cube root of 64 is equal to 4 raised to 1. Evaluate the power. 4 raised to 1 is equal to 4. That is the method 1. Second method, 64 raised to 1/3. Evaluate the power first. So write with a radical. So cube root of the quantity of 64 raised to 1. Next, evaluate the power. That is cube root of 64. Next is to evaluate the root. The cube root of 64 is 4. Remember, 4 times 4 is equal to 16 times 4 is equal to 64. Therefore, the cube root of 64 is equal to 4. Another example, write the expression in radical form and simplify. 4 raised to 5 over 2. First method, evaluate the root first. So, write with a radical. Square root of 4 raised to 5. Next step, evaluate the root. So, square root of 4 is equal to 2 raised to 5. Evaluate the power. 2 raised to 5 is equal to 32. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 32. Next method, evaluate the power first. Write with a radical. So, square root of the quantity of 4 raised to 5. Evaluate the power. Square root of 1024. 1024 is equal to 4 raised to 5. 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 is equal to 1024. Evaluate the root. The square root of 1024 is equal to 32. I hope you learned something from this episode. Thank you for watching.